All right. Hey, you guys, it's Amanda. I am here for part two of day 5, our final day in Simplify Your Health. Simply 2020. We're talking about simplifying your health all this week. We've talked about a ton of things, and you guys have gotten little glimpses into each other's lives with all of my awesome volunteers that have come on. And today we have Teresa, all the way from
Hey.
Germany, from the motherland. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank
Good.
you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate you jumping on with me and being willing to spend some time and share
Yay.
of yourself. Yeah, and just share of yourself so that other people can really benefit from this as well.
Mhm.
So, we'll just jump right in. What's going on for you with your health or life, or like what sort of big goal do you have for yourself this year that we can simplify?
Mhm. I feel like I want to have more of a morning routine
Okay.
because um usually in the morning my stomach doesn't feel very nice, and I feel like it needs some different nutritions than I feed him now.
Okay.
So I was thinking about, like, I mean, when I did that intuitive eating, your program, like this 30 days,
Mhm.
I tried to implement this smoothie in the morning, and this was really, really nice. So um, it's just like, yeah, I didn't stick on it. So um, yeah, that's probably the my point. Like a morning routine where I feel comfortable and getting a good start to the day. Because yeah. Uh, I usually have to sleep very long, for like maybe 8 hours, because I don't get a deep sleep. So, but I can sleep nicely. So sleep is not the issue, but like the getting up, the starting to the day.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, 8 hours is average, so
Yeah.
I know you're in university, so maybe not average for university students.
Yeah.
What does your morning routine look like now, or is there much of one, or what do you do in the
Mm,
mornings?
right now, because I study and I try to finish my thesis, I usually get up at a certain time, or try to get up at a certain time, and then would make a tea, which is already nice, or a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And then usually I have a piece of bread.
Mm-hmm.
So because it's easy, or I feel like it's easy made, and I just can have it actually already sitting there at my computer.
Mm-hmm.
I try sometimes to just have it consciously, or
Mm-hmm.
uh yeah, maybe I light a candle, I have my tea, I have the bread. So I try to have this like appreciation for the food, and not just eating it without thinking about it. But yeah, I kind of feel like there could be more.
Okay. And then your that doesn't do very well for your tummy, you said.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, for example, if I eat late in the evening, in the morning it feels so uh, heavy, or
Uh,
not fine, right?
right.
So yeah, I feel like the morning is important for me, actually, to get a good start for my
Yeah.
stomach.
It's important for many of us for our
Hmm.
just to set the tone for our day in
Yeah.
general, but also for our eating and digestion, and our sleep is,
Hmm.
imperative in that as well. When I don't get good sleep, I have weird cravings.
Yeah, right.
Um, so you go straight, like you have your tea, you have your breakfast, and you go straight to working on your thesis.
Yeah.
Okay. And um, that's how it is right now? You need to spend a
Hmm.
lot of time. Okay. So um what I'm someone probably like you who I don't wake up hungry. And
Hmm.
I again, like my tummy feels icky if I ate too much the night before or too late the night before. It's like
Hmm.
still working on digesting
Exactly.
it, that sort of thing. So you might not need anything but tea that very first thing in the morning, you know. You
Mm-hmm.
might not need anything. You might do your breakfast later in the morning or like mid-morning or something like that, and you might feel better that way.
Mm-hmm.
I do. My routine is kind of I don't, you know, it's 10, what time is it here? 10:20, and I'm just now starting my
Mm-hmm.
smoothie, and that's kind of like early for me even. A lot of times I don't have it till like 11.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would be the same.
Yeah. So, um you don't when are you usually having your bread?
Mm, I usually try to get up between 8 and 9. So it depends. I don't have to have it directly after getting up. So I would maybe 10 or 11. Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't have it all the time. So sometimes I also skip it or have it later.
Mm-hmm. Is 8 or 9 a.m. wake up working for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's a midnight bedtime, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what would you like your morning routine to look like, and what do you think would support you the best going throughout your day, especially at this season of life where you're putting a lot of effort into your thesis, a lot of brain power?
Um, I was thinking again about the elixirs
Mm-hmm.
because it kind of feels like it's not just a tea, but it's also not a meal. So
Yeah.
could be a good way in between.
Yeah. Well, I feel for you. I was going to say that, but the elixirs and a little bit of just like a 10-minute movement, something, because
Uh-huh.
you sit
Right.
at the computer all day, your body's kind of like asking to move around a
Yeah.
little bit. And not a big workout, but just like 10 minutes of a little, we talked about this yesterday, kind of like a little like twisting,
Mm-hmm.
dancing, moving around, you know, qigong or something like that feels
Mm-hmm.
really good. And yeah, you could just do a tea or a lemon water first thing in the morning, and then when you get hungry you could make the elixir.
Mm-hmm.
And you could even start out really simple. I don't know if you've started like gotten any ingredients or anything like that, but you could start really simple with like a really basic one, and I can drop a recipe, especially like lion's mane is really good for focus, right? And
Mm-hmm.
for like mental health and focus, like, you know, you being a student right now.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the mushrooms are really going to support you and your
Mm-hmm.
body and your health as you move through this time. So I love like a mushroom mix,
Mm-hmm.
um, and maybe some ashwagandha to kind of calm like worry and things like that. And does a whole lot more. These are all superfood adaptogens, so
Mm-hmm.
they do quite a bit. I'm not going to go through what each one does because we'd be here quite some time, but I have writings about each of these that I can drop in the comments. And
And we did that quiz one more last year, right?
right? Yep.
So
We
I
had it.
remember stuff from there.
Exactly. And Shazandra would be another good one. And
Mm-hmm.
cacao, of course,
Mm-hmm.
that chocolate, that magnesium, and a little bit of antioxidants and a little bit of caffeine. But
Mm-hmm.
Teresa's talking about Name That Superfood. We did a
Yeah.
series last year called Name That Superfood for those of you that are watching. And we learned about some basic superfood adaptogens that we can have every day. So like green smoothies and green juices are great, but there's a lot, like I love making a really nourishing drink that I call an elixir, right? That I make out of different herbs, out of different medicinal mushrooms, um, and and kind of and different superfoods, um, and it's a warm, it's kind of like an upgrade on your nourishing hot chocolate. You know, it's like a superfood
Mm-hmm.
hot chocolate or tea or coffee or latte. And so we can put cacao and just these different rhodiola maybe is what something I'm using right now. But I have, along with my business partner Tyrone, we have a couple of elixir classes out on how to make elixirs, how to craft them, and I can drop those in the comments as well. But they're a really easy way to like if you want to get off of coffee or upgrade your coffee and just feel grounded. Adaptogens kind of help you be on cruise control a little bit, right? Like not have the energy highs and lows, and really help with focus as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those would be two great things for you to start, kind of like you said, first thing in the morning, get up, have a tea or a lemon water or something like that, and get hydrated a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
do a little 10-minute movement. You could get your elixir ready or make it and then just heat it up later when you do get hungry, or you could you could take a break and make it, but it's not super involved, right?
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah, a little fat, a little salt, a little tea, a little almond milk, something. Have you done one before?
I think I've done one because I don't have this mushroom powders.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've done one with cocoa. So
Mm-hmm.
cocoa and cinnamon. I added a bit cinnamon.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was not sure about because I was on a hormonal treatment, and
Okay.
I was not sure about some of the, let's say, powders.
Mm-hmm.
But right now I'm not. So maybe that could be also a topic to talk about in March.
Okay, sounds good. A lot of them do address like hormone balancing and hormone
exactly.
optimization. So yeah, we can dive deeper into that when we speak then. But that feels really good for you, those two things. Is it going to be easy for you to get ingredients and maybe, I don't know, like to implement this, or does it feel like...
To get the ingredients, I think it's easy. I mean, we have Amazon.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So that's not the point. It's just it's like, I guess, with the smoothies, it's like I know it's good for me, or I know how I feel after, right? So but sorry, another dog.
Yeah.
So so it's not like I'm forcing myself, because I know how I feel after and I know why I do it, but or I also like it. But I guess if I get lost of a routine, like if I start one and I really try to keep on track, then it's working. But then let's say something interferes, like something what's out of the routine, then I lose that. So my fear is that it's the same with the elixir, and this whole getting stuck on a routine is hard for me, I guess.
So what if you are powerful enough to get back on routine, even if you have a day without it? You don't feel any guilt or shame around not doing it for a day, but you just jump on. What if it's easy to jump back on the wagon? These are just questions I'm rolling off for like maybe journal time, right? Like, what if it's easy to just jump back on the wagon? What if I come to love the elixir so much that I miss it when I don't have it? Or some ways, sometimes I prepare for myself if I do know that I'm having like a lot of stuff that's going to take up my time, or potential to not have time to make it, is make some in advance. And then just heat it up or drink it cold or something like that. Like make a big batch for a couple of days if I know I have, if you have testing or different things coming up that you can just grab and go.
Cool. I thought it should be always like freshly made, but
it's definitely the best fresh, but I always say kind of in the body is better than not at all.
Okay, right.
So it's you can refrigerate it and you can just kind of warm it up, shake it up, and it'll be fine. I mean, when I stay with friends and make them elixirs, sometimes I'll make them before they go to work and I'll stick it in the fridge and they'll just take it in a jar cold. So yeah, I think that would be really great for you. And then does the movement feel good?
Yeah. I also do. I really need this like doing this on my chair, or just
Yeah.
get up and get some movement in between, like maybe every hour or every second hour, like every 2 hours. Yeah, I really like that. Yes.
And something we spoke about with Jonna earlier in the week too was just putting like little, if like post-it notes or something to help you kind of come back to the routine, or like, like reminder to do whatever.
What I had in mind right now was this, like celebrating the little baby steps.
Yeah.
So just like when you get back, you just celebrate it.
Exactly.
Because that works for me recently, like celebrating this baby steps everywhere.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what this is all about. So you took the words right out of my mouth. So every time you do it, have a little party, have a little ode to Teresa for doing her thing and showing up and holding that space for you and your health and your body and what you're trying to accomplish in the world and who you be. So yeah, 100%. I'm celebrating you right now.
Yay.
So I do celebrate you. And I can't say that enough. Thank you for bringing that up again, Teresa. I can't say that enough. I can't do that enough. We tend to think that like we're so hard on ourselves a lot. I can have a really mean inner voice to myself. And I definitely used to be someone who just like, it was never enough. Like, just keep going, just keep doing, just keep through, right? And like really hard on myself when I perceived myself to not be doing as much or to have failed or whatever, like just really tough on myself, when in reality, we're all okay. We're all right, right? Like we're all doing great. We're all doing as well as we can be doing here on Earth School. And I think every baby step is worth celebrating. And that's actually the energy that attracts more of the same, right?
Exactly.
Our bodies respond. We lower cortisol when we have a dance party, when we have a celebration, we relax, we lower the cortisol levels in our brain. We're no longer in fight, flight, freeze syndrome. And it really has a huge physiological effect. But also you just feel calmer, you feel good. You respond on a cellular level, but then the universe responds to fun and pleasure and is like, oh yeah, they really like that. Let's bring them more of that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So perfect. I thank you for bringing
my inner nourishment goddess is speaking.
She's coming out to play. She's coming out to help you celebrate your new morning routine.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it'll be a really nourishing ritual for you if you invite her to the party every morning. So put that on a post-it note.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Does that feel good, Teresa?
That feels good.
Okay. Anything else like on that thread?
No, I think I'm fine with that. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on. I'm sure a lot of people are going to relate to this, to being able to put morning routines and celebrate baby steps. I appreciate you coming on. And everybody else, this has been Simply 2020, our series about celebrating baby steps, about taking baby steps to bring that big goal closer to us, right? It's not a big dramatic magical thing that needs to happen. It's one thing in every day. So that's what this series has been about. I hope you guys have gleaned something from it and learned from each other. And if you want to go deeper, I have these Simply 2020 pop-up sessions that I've been doing with people. That's really great that you get a private session for 25 minutes, only $144. It's over 40% off right now. And I'm only doing those for the month of January to kind of get your strategy in place for simplifying your health. Just really just breaking it down, making it really simple, and not just knowing what you should do, but actually doing it. Not just knowing what it is, but actually feeling it. So that's been Simply 2020. Appreciating you all so much for joining. Appreciating you, Teresa. Good luck with university.
Thank you that I could be here.
Yes, keep us updated.
Yeah.
All right. Have a great one.
Bye.